Welcome to Nerd Wars, and you guessed it, Gamergate 2 is upon us. All the Kotakus, they are out in full force doing exactly what we expected. They took the bait. And now we have us a Gamergate 2 on our hands, and people already understand that, and they still haven't figured out the story I'm trying to break about Weird Ghost yet.
I've stumbled onto a major company conspiracy, Mac. How about that for stress?
Once people find out about that, it's on. It is Gamergate 2.0 for sure. And I'm doing my part, going to be writing an article about it and releasing a documentary. I was hoping by next Friday, but So if you haven't watched my video, Expose Sweet Baby Inc.'s Connections to Gamergate exclusive, I recommend checking that out if you want to know more about this weird ghost company. Quick breakdown for those who don't want to go back and do homework. Some Sweet Baby Inc. employees were harassing a Steam curator who was pointing out all their games so people could not waste their money on them. I really wanted to know if this employee, Chris Kindred, was actually a man or a woman. Ended up at his or hers LinkedIn page and found a post from Weird Ghost saying that Sweet Baby Inc. was now part of their cohort. Decided to check out this Weird Ghost company, and oh boy, is it woke as fudge. And all I wanted to do was make fun of pronouns and all these crazy Canadians referring to themselves as settlers. Did a couple posts on Twitter, and then I came back later to a DM telling me I'd accidentally stumbled down a Gamergate rabbit hole. One of the founders is the sister of Alec Holowka, who is the person Zoe Quinn, the Gamergate figure, had lied about and said that he'd sexually harassed her, presumably in retaliation for the beginning of Gamergate, when a gentleman named Aaron decided to expose Zoe Quinn and her 5 guys that she cheated on him with. So she made up presumably baseless lies about Alec Holowka, tried to Me Too him. The game's media just ran him through the ringer, destroyed his career and life. And they all knew he had some mental health issues. His game he made was all about that sort of stuff. Zoe Quinn's game, of course, was all about that stuff too. We're dealing with a bunch of crazies here. So Alec Holowka had his life ruined and he Minecrafted himself. What I'd accidentally discovered was that his sister had inherited his company, Infinite Ammo, and was now using that to fund Weird Ghost and Baby Ghost. Weird Ghost, they have this interesting new funding model, which seems noble enough. And then they have grants which they give to indie devs who are super woke. I had only had the cohort 3 that Sweet Baby Inc. was part of, but now I found the first 2 cohorts. And that's the main point of today's video. We're going to check out some of those studios that Baby Ghost helped get off the ground. But first, we got to address these attack pieces because some of them are actually somewhat correct and are doing my job for me. Of course, from Kotaku, Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what some gamers think it does. No, one company isn't forcing diversity in all your favorite video games. Their whole point is, no, it's not just Sweet Baby Inc. It's the entire industry that's gone woke. Thank you, Kotaku. Thank you. That's the point I've been wanting to make. It's the whole freaking industry. Sweet Baby Inc. isn't forcing this stuff into these games. They're just the woke cherry on top to make sure that the wokeness is as genuine and representative as possible. A lot of the confusion does seem to come from Sweet Baby Inc. though, and the CEO and others. When they talk about the stuff they do, it sounds like they're the ones forcing a lot of this stuff in. But really, they're just narrative designers, so they do a bit of the wokeness, but it's woke that's usually already there. And it's the in-house narrative designers and the in-house HR, DEI mandates and stuff like that. That is the real problem here. And then you can also get into ESG and stuff like that as well. The whole industry, everyone, A through LMNOP, they are all to blame. Us gamers who didn't gatekeep well enough and let all this stuff happen are also to blame. We may have made Sweet Baby Inc. a bit too much of a boogeyman, and now all the Kotakus are jumping on it. Thankfully, I'll have an article and a documentary to sort this all out for everyone. But of course, the Kotakus took the bait. Mary Sue, Sweet Baby Inc. is under attack due to conservative conspiracy theories. No, guys, it's not Sweet Baby Inc. The whole industry is incredibly woke and destroying itself on purpose. Wow, sure own the chuds on that one, the Mary Sue. Also, you're still in business? I don't think Kotaku or Mary Sue is going to make it through 2024. From the gamer, diversity is not your enemy in a live service world. Studios aren't forced to add diversity, they're forced to add battle passes and endless grind, leading to worse games and cheap demographic appeal. Cheap demographic appeal? You mean forced diversity? Studios aren't forced to add it. They just choose to add it. Now, all the evil battle passes that they're forced to do. The wokeness in games isn't the problem, it's the battle passes. Really? Because I'm pretty sure Suicide Squad failed because of the forced diversity, which people knew Sweet Baby Inc. was going to be involved, so it was going to be crap. What happened? Oh, above a bunch of the doors, they have the pride flag, and it's not even just the normal pride flag, it's the one with the little triangle on the side and the circle inside of it.
Why have they used the meme flag?
You guys are crazy. It's the whole industry that's corrupt, not just Sweet Baby Inc. You conspiracy theorists. From PC Gamer, a company called Sweet Baby Inc. has become the target of anti-woke gamers because it offers consultancy work and industry standard service that's been normal for years. You guys are crazy, all right? The conspiracy in Rod is even deeper than you're saying. Okay, thank you PC Gamer for doing my job for me. From Eurogamer, Spider-Man, Alan Wake, ridiculous fishing devs speak up in support of consultancy studio Sweet Baby Inc. After online group claims firm pushing agenda into games it worked on. No, they did a great job, guys. It was us that pushed the agenda into the games. Okay. All right. Turns out the conspiracy is even deeper than the gamers thought. All right, interesting. Let's look at some of this stuff. Titanfall 3 will be inclusive and diverse. We got Respawn. Inclusion matters. Respawn Entertainment. Yeah. Activision Blizzard's new diversity game tool comes across terribly. Kotaku? Kotaku? You don't like the diversity space tool, you conspiracy theorist? Developed with MIT has been used for Call of Duty and Overwatch 2. If you're an Overwatch player like I sadly was, you saw it. And they just kept randomly turning people gay. The Mr. America guy, the manly man, Soldier 76, yeah, randomly just turned him gay for no reason. And it's not Sweet Baby Inc. and the consultancy firms doing it, you conspiracy theorist. It's the game studios choosing to do it. Yes, because the woke mind virus has infiltrated everything. And that is the real problem. Sweet Baby Inc. is just that little woke cherry on top. How to get Destiny's Be True emblem. Yes. So you can celebrate being a trans in space for some reason. Another game I sadly played. And the big problem is I am fine with all this woke crap being in indie games where it belongs, tiny little niche games. The problem is it's making it all in these AAA games. And that's not just because of consultancy companies, the Sweet Baby Incs, the Black Wayman in Games and all that garbage. It's the companies themselves because all the SJWs infiltrated them. All the DEI mandates enforced it. They promoted diversity over talent, and that's why these games are so bad. They're more focused on all the diversity than making a good game. Then on top of that, they're adding all the battle pass crap that everyone hates. So the answer, as with most things, is all of the above. So the actual point of the video, you gotta go in the Wayback Machine for this. Weird Ghost Studios, we funded. Rocket Adrift, Toronto-based narrative, oh my God, we'll get to it. Daffodil and Friends, Lucid Tales. And then here I finally got it, past grantees. And I looked into them all. Oh boy. Some normal, some I thought were normal, and then not so much once I went to the Twitters. And again, I reiterate, this is where this crap should be. The problem is it making its way into AAA games, forcing you to randomly play as deaf black girl spray painting in Spider-Man 2 for some reason. Okay, all right, it wasn't Sweet Baby Inc.'s fault. But it was sure as heck Sony's fault. It was sure as heck Insomniac's fault. And to be fair, a lot of times people find someone like a Sweet Baby Inc. or a BlackRock, and then they just want to blame everything on that. I read the comments. I read chats on live streams. I've seen it. They're not completely off base saying there are some crazy conspiracy theories going around. It's great that people are finding out about these sorts of companies, but we got to actually realize what it is they do and give them the appropriate amount of credit, while also not somehow letting the studios off the hook. It's all of their faults. Solar Punk Media. Hey, yay. A neo-Caribbean worldview similar to the environmental, architectural, and science fiction philosophy that imagines an optimistic future with technology, nature, and society in harmony. So environmental propaganda. Once they move on from all the diversity stuff, all the gay stuff, all the LGBTQ, LMNOP stuff, they're going to be moving to environmental stuff. And if you've seen Aquaman 2, you've already seen it happening. Operating system, Jedi 3.0, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Some people are probably aware that one of the DEI words that they made Jedi. And that's what they called their operating system, apparently. And like most things weird ghost related, they're Canadians. And they're apparently getting money or sponsored by Black Women Film Canada. And this is meant to social engineer teenagers. 10 to 14-year-old players master empathy and innovation and experience adventure and wonder through AR minigames and experiences. So we got Weird Ghost here, and then the yellow one is Gamma Space, which is connected to Weird Ghost. It's basically commune office. And then we got Ontario Creates. I don't know if they're also giving money to Solarpunk, but Gamma Space gets money from Ontario Creates, which is part of the Ontario government. So these crazy sons of bitches are getting money from the Canadian taxpayer, though a lot of Canadians don't consider Ontario to be part of Canada. Funded by Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario. Apocalypse. At first, this is when I was like, oh, this might be somewhat normal. This Paloma seems somewhat normal. I see this picture and I'm like, oh no, but then I read it and it seems somewhat normal. I mean, we get a bend towards sexy metaphysics and pop mysticism. But then we get non-binary programmer. It has to put non-binary in the very first thing of what they do. Like, this is concept artist, researcher, writer, creator, non-binary programmer. Why is non-binary in there? How about you just put programmer, researcher? They live in Teotihuacan, Montreal. These crazies call themselves settlers, and they use the name of the native Canadian parts of the territory they live in. Their interest in post-human writing practices includes the study of machine learning, media history, and media archaeology. So this is the sort of person going to be in charge of the AI running your brain chip. Oh, here we go. Someone who's not non-binary. Seems normal, seems normal, seems normal. Okay, maybe we're back on path. Non-binary artist. Animator. Basically all about using AR and VR to social engineer you. Then Stevens, a producer, co-founder of the Montreal Talent Boutique, blah, blah, blah. Since 2001, he's overseen projects in the TV, film, YouTube, and VR spaces for clients as diverse as Nike, Iggy Pop, LG, Adidas, Disney Pixar, Microsoft, Attractions, Procter & Gamble, Tony Hawk, Ford, Google. These people just stay in their little boutique talent agencies and stuff like that. Their boutique indie games, then that would be fine. The gamers wouldn't care. We would just point and laugh. The problem is that these creeps are getting into the mega corporations. And the mega corporations, it's like with Hollywood. The problem is they're supposed to appeal to the most people possible, and in an attempt to pander to more demographics, instead of giving them a bigger audience, gives them a smaller audience. Because instead of it being made for everyone, it's made for like 1% of everyone. And that 1% just pirates everything. Rocket Adrift is a Toronto-based indie game studio made up of game designers, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Our mission as a developer is to tell personal narratives that highlight the perspectives of LGBTQIA2S+ and BIPOC experiences. They use the two-spirit plus on there. It's woke on top of woke. We aim to emotionally enrich underrepresented players through gameplay and storytelling and endear others to the struggles of our diverse characters with humor and unflinching honesty. We want to normalize our deviant behavior so we can destroy Western civilization and stick you in a sci-fi dystopia. By 2025, the studio will be contributing to the conversation of diversifying perspectives in the industry through its projects, as well as provide fulfilling positions for BIPOC and LGBTQIA+ at our studio. We got a she-her. We got another she-her. And a he-him. Okay, you guys look like you match it, except for maybe this one. This one might not possibly match the she-her. But close enough. Why? Why are you telling us your freaking pronouns? Just take them off and then we know you're a normal person and your pronouns are what you look like. Daffodil, which brought us the game Street Uni X. It's like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. but for unicycles. So I see this, I'm like, okay, well, they're probably not woke. Go to the developers' Twitter. They're a rhizomatic. Oh my God, I actually need to look this one up. I've already had to look up one of these words. Recently been identified as methodology for net-enabled education. Okay. Perennial resisting fascism, colonialism, capitalism, carnism, and more. Carnism, you say? Oh, right. Well, I had to look that one up. I was like, is that against carnivores? Yeah. Carnism. That's that we eat certain animals. Resisting carnism. Well, I guess I can't play that unicycle game now. Cheeky Knots. Canadian studio on a mission to create games that immerse players in engaging worlds of inclusion and environmental stewardship. We strive to build our games on accommodating eco-friendly practices and reduce carbon in the atmosphere with this green website, and regular contributions to environmental impact initiatives like Ecology. Yes, that's great. Awesome. Do your own thing, waste your money. The problem is these crazies and even people like Elon Musk want carbon credits for everyone. Coincidentally, Elon would benefit from that quite a lot. The team. First person seems normal-ish enough. Second person's Twitter handle is @QueerGermanGirl. Not sure what she really has to say on Twitter. She left it for Mastodon, which tells you all you need to know. Lucid Tales. Yay! A Montreal-based worker-owned game studio. Sweet. It's a co-op. They're all about collectives and co-ops because they're a bunch of commies. Something we love is a workers' cooperative game studio. Our mission is to empower and defend marginalized creators and players through our games and membership. We make small, non-violent narrative games and whimsical games with light mechanics. Vivid Blue. The vision is to build narratives around BIPOC main characters. Why? And the rich stories of who they are.
Full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. It gives me goosebumps every time he does it.
The colors, struggles, and triumphs of their journeys, and the redemptive impact they have on themselves and others when Walgreens moves out of their neighborhood. Our goal is to make rich game worlds that reflect the worlds we live in. No, usually overrepresents. And the worlds we want. Gamers have made it clear we don't want this crap. Just stay to your indie nonsense and that's fine. Stay out of the mainstream though. Bam, gate kept. Their first game is Dusk Witch, Heroic Soul, a character action game where the main character Rudy is a light-skinned black witch with a kick-ass redemption story. Rudy takes us on a journey of restorative justice, taking responsibility for her part in causing the apocalypse. I assume the light-skinned part of her helped cause the apocalypse. Tackling powerful systems run by a secret few. Yeah, who are a bunch of commies like you. And emancipating herself from both as she strides straight into her purpose as a freedom fighter for lost soul survivors of injustice. She fights against injustice. One could say she was a social justice warrior. Literally. She uses soul bullets to fight her enemies, using them to heal her targets of their negative karma, and ultimately breathing life and love back into the world. We just need to be nice, guys. No, we need to get rid of you commies. Peacefully. And honestly, doesn't look the worst. Some of these games that these crazies make are actually pretty decent. Some of the crazies connected to Gamergate, I guess the anti-Gamergate, they actually made some good games too. Now the company mostly funding this stuff is Ultimate Chicken Horse devs, who are crazy woke. Their website is hilarious. But they made a good game too. Awesome. Keep it in the indie games. There's also, as far as I'm aware, no social justice crap in Ultimate Chicken Horse. Nate is a Toronto native of Jamaican descent. At age 5, he fell in love with gaming and instantly began visioning the genre of BIPOC abundant worlds that he'd want to play. It's not just Sweet Baby Inc. doing this, it's everyone and everything in the industry doing this. What video game did you play that these crazy wokes ended up destroying? For me, it was Overwatch, Destiny, and Borderlands. Let me know down in the comments. Got an article and a documentary about all of this coming out soon-ish. To be decided. I accidentally became a games journalist. I know. Tell me in the comments. Shame me down in the comments, please. Fucking gross. No. Games journalism. What? Why, God? Get access to exclusive videos and become a producer at my Subscribe Star. Links in the description.